Siemanko, witam wszystkich. No i wracamy do naszej przygody. Jak pamiętacie, jesteśmy umówieni z proboszczem w karczmie na Kielona. No to idziemy z nim pogadać. Konkubina Boguty, to dupeczkę ma ksiądz? To tak można było? Tak oficjalnie?
The blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat. I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
O, to jest na czas.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nie lubię na
What
czas.
about your kin?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
A gdzie dupeczka poszła? Kurde, zostawiła nas.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyelf? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumors aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarreled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them. are popular as well, especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Kurde, jak się wczuł.
This Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Co mu teraz odpowiedzieć? Tak się zastanawiałem, czy w trakcie, jako tutaj się będzie tak trochę poniosło, nie? Tam dosyć głośno chyba dar mordę. Się zastanawiałem, czy zaraz w tej karczmie jakaś bójka się nie rozpęta.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
Heniowi się język już plącze.
As you wish.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Albo chyba słówko było za trudne, bo chyba jeszcze nic nie wypił. Co? Czekajcie, co on
What do you
mówił?
think of this?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
O, może sobie zajrzymy później.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, son?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
No dobra, napijemy się z nim, nie?
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Osiągnęliśmy nowy poziom w piciu.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj panu desej smutek do dnie loje. svoj zrak, do včera žil, dneska je prach. Už se i moji svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejt v jejich kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si ubí jako poslední jen. Buďme se vámi, panorama stávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu jsou nejdem, tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this.
Bailiff!
A Heniu pod stołem już leży.
Drink with us.
Don't vex me again, father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long.
Takiego banana ma na gębie cały czas.
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
No cóż, trudne życie, kurde. Jak mus to mus.
I wonder what Teresa's doing now.
Don't weak at the knees.
I'll send you straight to hell.
Oła, 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 oła. Ale mu Ale dostał. O kurde. Już mi chciał kolankiem przywalić. O, ten za to przywalił. Jeden leży. Oła, oła. Ale w bebechy dostał kopa, drugi leży. A księciunio tutaj, kurde, szefa nadupia. O. Lej go, Heniu, kopnij go w jaja.
It's a sin to fight so bad. Thou shalt not hurt thy neighbor, fucker.
Ale im nakopaliśmy.
So, my dear, would you like to have a little ring on the bell?
Tak coś niewyraźnie... O. Coś niewyraźnie widzi, Heniek.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you
Dobra.
out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care?
Będą fikołki.
What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear.
Kurde, Heniek, ty zaraz spadniesz z tych schodów, tak coś ma, widzę, problem z utrzymaniem pionu.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
To ksiądz ma swoje sposoby.
This is wonderful.
O nie.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Dobry księżurek, nie? Dobry jest.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Heniek, ty kurde z Bereźniku, a co Tereska powie? Me. Ksiądz się z nich nabija. Kurde, nie wierzę. Czemu my na tej polanie łazimy? Jeszcze se beka, kurde, popierduje. Dobry ten ksiądz jest. Ty no przestań już meczeć. Może po... Jaki widoczek śliczny.
I have to say that was a fine evening.
Kurde, ten ksiądz się przekręci po tej Bibie. Ale zwłoki.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Wczoraj były milsze, nie? Dzisiaj takie jakieś oschłe.
Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
You certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Wczoraj były zdecydowanie przyjemniejsze.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Chyba go przekonał.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, all right. Well, I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosz.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Dobra, teraz powiedzcie, ile pamiętacie z tej rozmowy naszej wczorajszej z księdzem w karczmie na temat tego Jana Husa. Bo ja jak to pierwszy raz usłyszałem, to kurde miałem pełne gacie. Ja pierdzielę, ja nic z tego nie pamiętam, nie? I to jest moment, w którym zacząłem zwracać uwagę na rozmowy. Że one, znaczy generalnie słuchałem od początku wszystkiego, ale tutaj w tym momencie stwierdziłem, że nie ma sensu ich pomijać i przeskakiwać, bo nie wiadomo kiedy przyda się jakaś informacja, która była w tej rozmowie, nie? Więc opłaca się raczej słuchać tych rozmów dokładnie i starać się mniej więcej zapamiętać, o czym one są i o kim. I to mi się też bardzo w tej grze spodobało właśnie, że te rozmowy mają jakiś sens dodatkowy, nie? Będziemy kazanie prawić. Jak się... Wejście smoka. Kurde, ja się nie ubrałem. Co ja będę w tej piżamie gadał? Kurde, zapomniałem się ubrać. Lipa trochę, bo to ubranie mi daje bonusy do charyzmy. No i będę stał taki, kurde, w szmatach. A nie wygląda, jakby był zadowolony z siebie, nie?
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabilis a manus suas.
Dobry ten ksiądz jest.
Hoc facite
Chodziłbym na takie
in
msze.
meam commemorationem.
Heniek już, kurde, sobie przygruchał.
You may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime
Puści bełta, czy nie?
at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where by the grace of God was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because,
Ale się męczy.
as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So Henry, you may begin.
Świetnie. Kurde, mam nadzieję, że mi teraz tej charyzmy nie zabraknie, żeby ich przekonać. O kurde. Jedziemy z nimi od razu, nie?
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
Boy has a cheek.
O nie, to jest na czas. Bóg stoi nad kościołem, choć ten twierdzi inaczej, nakazuje się.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone.
Co, coś się nie podoba? Kontynuuj zgryźliwie, kontynuuj dobitnie, delikatnie. Kontynuuj zgryźliwie. Spróbujemy tak.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger and chaos.
Oh.
The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom.
Myślałem, że im się to
When
nie
dogs
spodoba.
are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution.
Słówko w słówko zapamiętał wszystko.
And give themselves absolution.
For shame. Shame upon them.
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan?
Kurde, źle to chyba
And
wybrałem.
how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
No, to nie było najlepsze.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
Skrytykować rozpustnych księży z Bogutą włącznie, skrytykować... Kurde...
I say to you in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him speak much. He who knows little, let him speak little. Let each speak as much as he knows, and he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbour one virtuous deed by setting him good example and refraining from playing dice and from fornication. And that applies both to priests and to you, brothers and sisters.
That's his conclusion.
O, chyba mi się nie
That is all
spodobało.
I heard in Prague. Amen.
I co? Szału nie ma.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad he
tongue.
came here. Don't suppose I'll ever
No
get
dobra, chyba nie było najgorzej.
nicely.
W tej piżamie, kurde, stoi.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin,
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penalty.
So, what did Limpy Lubos tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you,
Well, now Lubos came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
fell out. Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubos kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubos killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pious. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Dobra, teraz się może ubierzemy. Okej, słuchajcie, to jest miejsce, w którym stwierdziłem, że nie gram dalej i po prostu muszę zacząć nagrywać tego gameplaya, bo tak mi się w tym momencie ta gra spodobała po tym questie, że stwierdziłem, dobra, będzie jak będzie, albo wam się te odcinki spodobają, albo się wam nie spodobają, ale stwierdziłem, że no po prostu naprawdę są fajnie wyreżyserowane, fajnie napisane, fajnie to jest wszystko przedstawione, pokazane i tak myślałem, że może to się komuś spodobać. No bo mówię, i poczucie humoru w tych questach, i same dialogi, i treść tych dialogów jest naprawdę świetnie zrobione i mówię, to był moment, w którym stwierdziłem, że trzeba to nagrywać, kurde. I dalej już nie grałem, także od tego momentu ruszamy dalej w nieznane. Ja też nie wiem, co się będzie dalej działo, także zobaczymy. Dobra, pozakładam sobie wszystko, przecież nie będę z gołą dupą biegał. Wszystko mam? Wszystko, jeszcze broń. Dobra. Jesteśmy gotowi do akcji. No, to co my teraz mamy dalej? Znajdź śmierdziela, czyli będziemy dalej szukać tej bandy z Neuhof. Dostaliśmy parę nazwisk i parę miejsc, w które możemy się udać w poszukiwaniach. Tutaj zemsta to na później. Zaloty, aha, z Tereską musimy zagadać. Dobra, ja sobie może pojadę z Tereską zagadać. Bo i tak muszę odpocząć. O, mamy elementarz do przeczytania. Albo wiecie co, może tutaj sobie pokój wynajmiemy i tutaj się zatrzymamy. Zobaczymy, jak ten elementarz będę szybko czytał.
I'm at your service.
Can I sleep here?
A Heniek chyba dalej narąbany jest.
There's room here. For how long?
Na jedną noc.
Just the one night?
No coś tak nie wygląda, jakby był na chodzie.
Here you are.
You all like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is.
Where do I go to sleep?
You'll have no trouble finding it. Right inside the door to the building, there's a ladder up to the loft. Your bed's ready there and a trunk for your belongings.
Dobra.
May the Lord watch
Która
over
jest
you.
godzina? 13, to tak wcześnie jeszcze, kurczę. Ale chcę przeczytać ten elementarz. Zobaczymy, ile nam to nabije umiejętności czytania. No, chyba dalej wstawiony jestem, tam po lewej ta ikonka. O. Gdzie ten elementarz? O, jest. Czytaj. Studiuj. A, jest postęp 94-100% o 18. No dobra. Czyli kilka godzin. Myślałem, że to będzie jakoś dniami trwało, ale nie, kilka godzin starczy, to jeszcze spoko. Co? Przeczytaliśmy już całą? Tak. A możemy elementarz 2 od razu przeczytać? Nie. Jeszcze nie osiągnąłeś takiej wprawy w czytaniu, abyś mógł skorzystać z tej książki. Dobra, to będzie na później. No dobra, ale elementarz już możemy sprzedać, bo już nam jest niepotrzebny w takim razie. Zobaczmy, jak tam umiejętności. Czytanie. Jedną dostaliśmy. Co tu jest? Książki w kramie są tańsze. Gdy czytasz 2 razy wolniej się męczysz i głodniejesz. Ale to mi chyba nie jest jakoś potrzebne. Wolę, żeby były tańsze. Dobra. Co tam jeszcze się nauczyliśmy? Jazda konna. Koń do zadań specjalnych. Twój koń może unieść większy ciężar, ale porusza się wolniej. Twój koń porusza się szybciej, ale uniesie mniejszy ciężar. Nie chcę tego. Tam potem można kupić lepszego konia, więc... Tu picie. Wino, które otrzymasz, jest o połowę słabsze, więc możesz wypić go więcej. Piwo jednak działa dwukrotnie silniej i bardziej się nim upijesz. Picie nawykowe. Jakieś, kurde, systemy picia są. Pod wpływem alkoholu twoja ręka trzęsie się o 25% mniej, ale twoja umiejętność w strzelaniu z łuku wzrasta o 2 punkty. Ale gdy wytrzeźwiejesz, twoja ręka będzie o 25% bardziej się trzęsła. No to nie chcę tego. Piwo, aha, to jest przeciwieństwo tego Keepera chyba. Dobra, nie chcę na razie tych umiejętności. Zręczność, a tu jest dalej ta jedna. Witalność. I tu też już to mieliśmy, ale tego nie chciałem. Dobra. No nic, coś tam nam popadało tych leveli, ale musimy nabić wyższy poziom tych umiejętności, żeby odblokować lepsze atuty. Okej. Dobra, w sumie możemy sobie tutaj przerwę zrobić, ja się kimnę. No i co, od następnego odcinka będziemy dalej szukać tej ekipy z Neuhof. Chyba że jakieś zadania poboczne może byście chcieli zobaczyć, jakie są dostępne, to bym wam pokazał, nie wiem, jakieś polowanie na jakichś bandytów, czy może dla tej królowej coś, znaczy tam królowej, tej kobitki z Talberka. No nie wiem, zobaczymy. Dajcie znać w komentarzach, czy chcecie kontynuować główną ścieżkę fabularną, czy może jeden odcinek, jakieś questy poboczne wam pokazać. Mówię, zostawcie komenty, co byście chcieli zobaczyć, a ja idę w kimę kaca leczyć. Trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia, cześć.